Hey YouTube, Denise from Dueling Bunnies, and today I have a Chaos Plant deck profile for you guys to see for the September 2011 ban list. So we'll get started. I run 3 Tengus for obvious reasons, always giving you field presence. I'll have a lot of plays that I'll talk about later with another card that will spam Tengu. I run the Plant engine, which consists of Dandy. I like to use Foolish on him to get 2 tokens to sync that way. Lone Fire, great way to get Dandy out, or the tuners Glow Up and Spore. I also run the Lightsworn-ish engine for milling, which is Lila for back row hate, and 2 Raikos for the same thing, or for removing any monster that you might need to remove at the time. I run 2 Cyber Dragons, great against GKs. If you think about it, I'm a GK player. Every time they side this card against me, it's kind of rough to get over because most GK monsters are only 2000 attack at their highest. So you can always run them over. Also, if you go second, I always open with him first hand. You have a monster 2100 beat stick to bring out. Sangan, searching 2 Caiuses. I don't run Chaos Sorcerer in this deck because I didn't like having to banish monsters in order to bring a guy out that doesn't have that high of an attack and does the same thing as Caius. Caius only requires a tribute, and I like to usually go for like this kind of play, Sangan and Caius. I'll probably have Sangan set. They're probably not going to attack him for your Raiko. Flip Sangan, tribute Sangan, bring Caius, remove from play a card, and I get to search. So that's kind of a play that I do there. So Caius is just one of my second favorite card in the deck. Plague Spreader. There's a lot of milling in this deck, so usually, if he ends up in the graveyard, it's a plus for me anyway. I get to bring him out, recycle him, and do some sinking. He's a great 2-star, so you can get those special monsters out. This card is what I really wanted to talk about. This card is like one of the key cards of the deck for my Tengu spamming plays. I'll usually start this way. I always start with a Tengu first turn, usually. I draw him, return a Tengu, special summon. I get to special summon another Tengu because the first one left from play. Then I get to normal summon another Tengu if I wanted to, and then, overlay and get a Utopia, or sync and get another Tengu. So it's always spamming of Tengu plays that you can do with this. You can say something if you want.
He also goes up to 1900 as well, because that's a wind type.
It's a wind type.
A wind attribute, I'm sorry.
I thought it was a given, but yeah.
You can also abuse Caius also. If he's already on the field,
you
return him back to your hand, special, pop, and then bring out Caius again.
So, there's just a lot
there's a lot of combos you could definitely do with Birdman.
So, he's my favorite though. I usually, like to spam Tengu. He gets a boost, and you get to just constantly spam. If you sync this way, you get to bring another one out. So you always have field presence with Tengu and Birdman. Just one of my favorite combos that I pull off a lot of Dueling Network. If you play me, you know I'm going to do that to you. Next, BLS, just because we can. He's great. My favorite card of the deck. I always bring him out every game. If I don't kill him too fast, he's going to come out regardless. I never use his removing from play effect unless I really need to. I always like to do the attacking twice. Just kill your opponent faster. Gores for sticky situations. Sometimes, they do manage to get through everything that I have on the field, and Gores saves me from that, at least for a turn. And then 2 Dark Simorgs. This is like one of my other favorite cards of the deck. Blackluster being first, Caius second. This is like my 3rd favorite card. He wins games for me. Bring the first one out. Usually they scoop first time he comes out. If they do stick around and they manage to get rid of him with Dark Hole, whatever it is, bring the second one, and that's when they just give up because he's really tough to get over. No setting involved, so when he comes out, it's monster to monster. If their monster isn't bigger than mine, they're going to have an issue. They also can't rely on traps or anything like that when I attack because they can't set traps. Things of that nature, so he wins games for me. now we're gonna go on to spells. I think that's 21 monsters, if I'm not mistaken. Monster Reborn, Foolish, and Pot of Avarice. These three work hand in hand for me. I usually, depending on the situation with Foolish, I'll go with Dandy, or who do I go with? Plague. These two are the ones that I'm going to usually be throwing in the graveyard, depending on the situation in the game when I draw it. Dandy, for obvious reasons, to use the tokens for sinking to get out of a situation, or just to use the tokens just to save my ass for a turn. And Plague Spreader, if I just need a tuner at the time to sink for something, he's going to be who I'm throwing in the graveyard. Monster Reborn, obvious, and Pot of Avarice, just recycle your cards. Next, Charge of the Light Brigade. I like to mill in this deck. Milling is, to me, is not an issue, but I don't like milling too much. So that's why I only run a Lila and 2 Raikos. I don't run Card Trooper. A lot of people do. I don't, because I think too much milling with Pot of Avarice at 1 is not good. Helps you get your key plays, because you do, a lot of our monsters in the deck do get to come out of the graveyard a lot. So, Heavy Storm and an MST. Just one MST, one is enough. You don't need 2, you don't need 3 in this deck, because you have Raiko, you have Lila, you have Caius as well, if you want to remove a backfield card. So that's enough. I never liked this card until Jonathan told me about it, and I saw him use it against me, and that's why I run it in this deck. It saves your ass, and it's a really sacky card when you know how to use it. So, Scapegoat is really good. Mind Control, I can consider it a staple, not really, but hey, it's good. And those two, Book of Moon and Dark Hole. Traps, I don't run as many traps in this deck for obvious reasons, but we have Solemn Judgment, 2 warnings. Clearly, why you would run that in there. 2 Fiendish. This card is great this format, especially with agents running around, Hyperion and Christia. You want to Fiendish them. What other decks are really good? Judgment Dragon for Lightsworns, if he comes out Fiendish. BLS, use it against their BLS if they manage to bring him out. There's just so many good boss monsters that you want to use this on. What else? 1D Prison, Mirror Force, Torrential, and Jonathan absolutely hates this card, but I absolutely love it because it saves my butt all the time. A Starlight Road. He's rolling his eyes right now, filming, but you know what? This card wins me games, guys, because once he's out on the field, I get to, with no fear, put as many traps as I want to, and that's how I win the game. They bring anything out, I'm going to negate them, I'm going to stop them because of Starlight Road. So, that's the deck. I'll do the extra. Leviathan, you can use Birdman with a plant monster. Usually the one that, what's the one that you could,
Dandelion.
Dandy. You can also use it with...
Still get your tokens with Dandy too.
So many things. You can just use it with so many things. He's great because you detach them and he gains 500. So I actually run 2 of those. Then I run a Utopia for the Tengu plays that I usually do. Also, what I've done a lot is I will Mind Control one of their monsters. That's a level 4. Use my Tengu, and they're not going to get that monster for a while. Because what I'll do, usually if they attack with a big guy, I'll detach my Tengu, but I will hold on to their monster for as long as possible so they can't use it. I used it on you with your Bogart Knight, I think it was. So you couldn't get him from the graveyard. Wind Up Zenmeister. This was usually for my GK deck, but you could use it for Raiko. You really won't, but it's there. I should take him out for something else, but Formula Synchron, draw power. He's great because in main phase, on your opponent's main phase, you get to sync with it to stun your opponent practically. Armory Arm. I love to use this. I've done it with BLS. I'll attach it to BLS, and this guy is huge. I'll just rape, or I'll attach it to Caius. It's that amazing, because it adds 1,000.
Cool.
Amazing. I love it.
I never
You
actually.
never thought of that?
No, I never actually used it as a equip effect. I just used them as
I
level
always
4.
use him. No, I always use him for an equipped effect because of Kaya's. He becomes 3,400, or BLS he becomes 4,000. It's just that great. Catastor, his great effect. I usually bring him out every game. There's a lot of darks running around, guys, and also there's a lot of lights, so he's great. Bronic, my favorite card of the entire extra deck. I use him a lot. Just remove the cards off the field and attack directly. Black Rose, blow up everything in a tough situation. 2 Stardust Dragons, I love 2. They're annoying. When 1 comes out, it's annoying enough. When 2 comes out, it's even more annoying. Scrap Dragon, also a good card. Usually not bringing him out as much as I would like to. I guess I have to practice a little bit more with the deck to see what tuning options I have, sinking options I have. Gosh. And that's it. Red Dragon Archfiend, really don't bring him out as much either. Gotta keep practicing. Trish and Miss Worm, probably one of the hardest for me to figure out how to bring out, but I'm getting there.